Alright, this is a video for those of you feeling nervous about getting ready for the first human anatomy test. I want to remind you to go to my webpage, click on Human Anatomy and Physiology, and go to the letter I've written you. You'll see that everything you need to know is there, including here on online resources. There's a summary of each of the tests from Period 4's Ben Pincus, and then there's a review sheet where you can click on the review sheet and make sure you're able to do all of these things. In addition to knowing all of this, I would also like for you to know your quality of character and what an STR is. So I tell you that right here. Be forewarned that you will be responsible for everything we've learned so far, including our lesson on the STR and your quality of character. Be prepared to write about these in addition to all of the content knowledge. Also, as a quick little reminder, I did give Period 7 an overview of what the essay question was, and you can contact Alice, who is probably going to be contacting the class secretaries of Periods 2 and 4, and she'll give you a little bit more information on that. Last but certainly not least, on the online resources, there's a PowerPoint for Chapter 1. Make sure that you check this out and study what we have discussed in class. So, for example, I told you that the study of individual cells is cytology and the study of tissues is histology, but this will not be on the test because we didn't study it directly. You are responsible for knowing the levels of organization. We're skipping pages 8 to 13 in the textbook. You do not have to have these human body systems memorized. It's just an introduction. Make sure that you know the components of the body, but only as they pertain to the names of the regions. One of the big focuses of our course is homeostasis, and I want to make sure that you know that homeostasis is balance, equilibrium of the body. It maintains stable internal conditions, and it is one of our big themes you'll be asked to write about on the essay. We didn't talk too much about receptors and effectors, except to say that they are both required for negative and positive feedback. I never spent very much time at all. In fact, I think only in one class did I spend any time looking at this particular slide. But if you can explain that homeostasis requires a control center, that is a place that decides what information's coming in, what to do with it, and cause something to happen, then you'll be all set. If you use temperature as an example, when it starts to get hot, the thermostat says turn the air conditioner on, or start cooling, or start heating if it's too cold. And then this receptor is what gives the information to the control center. In other words, a thermometer judges whether normal temperature exists. If it doesn't, that change is the stimulus. That stimulus tells the receptor it's too cold or it's too hot, and then in turn the control center, usually the brain, tells the body what to do. These effectors would be things like your sweat glands if you were going to start sweating, or maybe your erector pili muscles if you were going to start getting goosebumps. Feel free to study this entire PowerPoint, but what you actually need to focus on is what negative feedback is, and think of some examples so that you can explain using examples. There's a trend, and the negative feedback corrects the trend. In other words, it negates the disturbance or goes in the opposite direction. Lots more examples